Hey everyone, it's Rob with MMORPG.com. Tonight's Wayback Wednesday, and we have MMORPG.com.
This is Thom Terrazas, producer on EverQuest.
Hi, Tom.
How's it going, Rob?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. We've got a couple more team members with us on the call right now.
All right. I know we have Jonathan.
That's right. I'm Jonathan Caraker. I'm the lead designer on EverQuest.
And
I am Josh Augustine, also known as Augur, and I'm an associate game designer here.
And he's the new guy.
I'm the new guy, yeah.
This is his first time getting to do a press event, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I'm a little nervous. Please don't trick me into saying something I'll get in trouble for.
For those of you that don't know, Josh used to be on the other side of the microphone with a little publication I think some of you may have heard of called PC Gamer.
That little guy.
Yeah.
I was there for about 4 years.
All right. Well, thank all of you for taking time out of your evenings and joining me. I know you guys are busy, but just had a recent content update, Shadow of Fear. I guess it came out last, I want to say Thursday it went live?
Last Wednesday, actually.
Wednesday. Oh, so we're a week
17th.
later. Oh, that's right, because I told them in the future I wish you guys would have those on Thursdays instead of Wednesdays. That's what it was. So I'm trying to trick you.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. So it's been out a week now, and you guys are going to take some time out and show us what it consists of. So.
All right. Well, cool. So this is the Shadow of Fear, and it's basically Chapter 2 of the Reign of Fear. And the Reign of Fear launched last November, and this is a second part. And this is kind of a change in what we've been doing over the last few years that I've been on the team, where we've had a major release every year, and that was kind of our major focus, was everything in the expansion. So what we're trying to do is spread the content out in somewhat more of an equal way throughout the year, so that players always have something new to do. So we're hoping that they're going to like this format better.
So with these more frequent content updates, are you guys actually going to have expansions going forward, or are we going to expect more of these just updates like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's going to be expansion launches once a year, along with updates that come out every couple of months that supplement that expansion.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big effort, because we've got content that players expect in expansion, fully, a really big list of things. So we're going to continue to do that as best we can, but also give them more content periodically.
All right. Well, I know that you had, what was it, 2 full zones that came out with this, or at least there was one for the arena, where we get arrested and thrown into the arena area, and then there's another one that actually we get to see a new god. That's not a new god, but it's an old god, but it's the first time they actually get to see her.
Exactly. So what we're going to be doing is taking you on a little tour. We're standing right now in Shard's Landing, and Josh has kind of brought us to the portal area so that we can jump into the first zone. So this is Shadow of Fear, and Josh, I believe we're going to be going into Chelsith Reborn as the first zone to check out, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So this is kind of the portal. The players can do a quest to get attuned. I've already kind of flagged you as completing the quest to get attuned to the zone, so you can kind of leap there. Otherwise, you kind of can get there naturally through the gray. And this, as we kind of zone in, I'll tell you a little bit about the story. So Chelsith Reborn is a city. It's a Shishar city that sprung up overnight in the middle of the Grey. The Shishar are kind of an ancient race that used to be great and powerful, but now have kind of been diminished and destroyed. So they're still kind of around, and players fought them, back in the day as well, but they're just kind of shambles of what they used to be. So this city is kind of just emerged out of the ground, and players kind of have to go in there and try and figure out what happened. How did the city show up? Kind of, are the Shishar making a comeback and going to try and enslave the world again? Because that would not be cool. So players start out on this little beach area. This is designed to be like a solo-friendly area, so you see the mobs are kind of spread out. They won't really aggro on you too much unless you really kind of try to get their attention. We can see, we'll head over to the docks. You can see kind of dock workers moving back and forth, carrying boxes around, while fishermen are trying to catch their delicious fish.
And they're tired from their efforts.
They are, man. Well, they've been out here for how many? They've already been here a week straight, and I mean they haven't caught any fish yet. I would be tired too.
It's terrible.
Look at the lazy eyes on the guy. If you look at the
I know he actually looks incredibly tired. He's even like bobbing his head. He might be falling asleep. I'm not even sure. All right, so once kind of players are kind of feeling ready to go into the city themselves, you kind of head up this path. Actually, I wish I had a mount too. Maybe I'll just boost my run speed a little bit. Yoink. All right. So you kind of run up this path, and actually, I'll let Rob run up first.
Oh.
Yeah. You can see the border. You can see the border guards up there, kind of. Hey, what's going on?
How's it going?
Oh, wait, you have a GM flag on, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh no! All right, we got to take your GM flag off. I'm sorry. Can we do that, or does he do that?
Yeah, no, it says /GM with him targeted.
All right. And then, go ahead and back up down the path a little bit, maybe.
Everybody watching? No, I don't know.
Oh, there he goes. Oh no!
I think you took it off yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I did take it off myself, apparently. Oh man.
Here, let me take it off myself so I can take it off.
Oh, you can come join me in prison, please.
I'm trying to. Let's see.
All right. If you kind of back out and then walk back in there, it'll work. So normally players won't have the GM flag, so that wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I just kind of backed out.
There it goes.
I backed out and I walked off the cliff.
Oh no!
And somebody summoned me and I walked off the cliff again.
It's a fun loop.
Alright, let's see. Oh, they got me.
Alright. Yeah, so as you kind of they halt, I haven't seen you pass through here before, and you get arrested and you get teleported into prison. And it's important to note kind of you don't get trapped in this prison. You can immediately go out and group with friends if you want to, so we don't like trap you in here forever. But you do kind of get sent in here and you get assigned, the first task. And this is where you kind of figure out that, okay, the city's like under lockdown. They're arresting everyone. Oh, oops, I may have gotten aggro.
Just a little bit.
Save me.
Probably help you put some clothes on.
Yeah, I know, probably would. Nope. Goodbye. So you find out that you're kind of in the city. Here, we'll start kind of heading out so we can look around the city as well. You're in the city. The city's kind of under lockdown. Anyone that comes in is either killed or enslaved immediately. And you get recruited into kind of this underground movement of slaves to try and break out of the city. There's a rebellion basically going on to rise up and take out the Shishar and
now, is this all level 100 content, or can you go here at like level 95, or? Yeah,
this is all level 100 content. I don't think there's anything technically stopping you from getting in here below that, but it is designed for level 100. Most of the mobs here are around that level, so level 95s would have a tough time without some higher level friends.
Wayback's drunk tonight. This guy can't walk in a straight line.
These cliffs, yeah, I mean, you gotta walk. Actually, here, oops, I just fell off too. Actually, let me, I can just take us straight to the market. I'm gonna summon you guys. Woot. Alright, so this is kind of the market area. You can see there's like different stuff for sale. There's different quest givers here that you're gonna kind of work with.
He's aggressive.
Haggler.
Yes.
It does not lie. You did not offer him a fair price.
Apparently not. I was just like, hey, how you doing? I want to see your wares. Not today, friend.
Not today. All right, so we'll head up here kind of in kind of the seedier part of the market. There's a slave trading going on.
Wait a minute. What do you mean seedy?
I don't think it gets any seedier than just we're going to openly attack you.
Well, the more sketchy areas. Does that work better for you? I don't want to mislead you. But yeah, so there's slave traders over here, and this is one cool thing I kind of like.
You like slave trading?
Yeah, yes, I love slave trading. So when you attack the slave traders, they'll aggro kind of the slaves around them to help them. And then as a player, you can kind of choose, okay, these slaves are beating on me. Do you want to kill the slaves, or do you want to try and kill the slave trader? And if you do, actually, let me NPC. Alright, so if you kill them, the slaves, you know, become friendly again. They cheer, they say something about running off to go join the rebellion. Thanks, buddy, you're the best. And then they run down to the rebel camp. So it's just little choices along the way that you can choose whether you do want to be a jerk and kill all the slaves, or if you want to try and, you know, liberate them and become their hero.
Do you get like a bonus reputation with a faction for liberating them as opposed to killing them?
We don't actually have a faction on the rebels as it is right now.
Okay.
But hey,
take notes.
If we jump down this beautiful pit, we'll go straight to their camp, and maybe they'll thank you if you ask nicely.
It was a really neat technical trick that you used to get those guys to run away. It's probably the first time in EverQuest we've been able to do that and make it look convincing.
Yeah, and have them cheer at you. Oh, and a collection item. What?
I've hailed them. They haven't said anything to me.
All right, I'll take you to slaves that will. All right.
Oh, and this, you said this is a collection item? This glowing...
yeah.
These are new with this expansion, correct?
That's correct. The collection system came with Reign of Fear. So we went ahead and make sure every zones that we go forward with, we make sure the collection system keeps continuing, and we're going to make an effort to go back as well.
Yes, this is Chelsith right here. This is the guy leading the rebellion. He's a big quest giver for the zone. He's got all sorts of weapons because he is plotting. And let's go. I want to go find the dancer that's down here too. Oh, here we go. Yeah, if you follow me around this corner, we'll see. The rebels like their entertainment as well. So they've got the slave dancing up there, and the barbarian, you know, likes what's going on.
This is a PG-13 show, just.
Yes, fully clothed, fully clothed. This is not the seedier part of the market, if you will. But then we can jump on over to. Oh, actually, yeah. Let me. So down here, there's a lot of like cultists and guards kind of fighting down in the sewers, down where we are, or the aqueducts. And so I'm going to bring you guys over to me real fast. This is one of the hallways that's branching off of that. And you can kind of fight your way through here. And when you do, if you turn around, there's poportals at the end. And these portals are going to take you back up to the... Oh, no!
We
Fighting
said fight.
the necros. Do it. Take them down.
Yeah.
And they vanish out of thin air. Alright, so if you fight your way all the way to the end, you kind of get to these portals, and if you step up to it, this will take us up to the plaza area.
Now, was I hearing something, or was that actually having like emitting a throbbing sound, like a pulsing sound? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that was the portal. I actually have my game sound turned down right now. I can turn it back up.
Yeah, you can hear it on this side too. It's coming from the portal.
Okay, yeah, my game sound's down so that people can hear you, but I could pick that up in the background. I brought that to the forefront because I know that you guys did a lot of audio work on this content update that you really haven't done in the past. I guess maybe it might have more to do with just the voiceover work, but I wanted to.
Yeah, that's correct. We're always trying to, and it's something we've talked about a lot in the last year, is really make the player feel entrenched into the environment by working on sound, and the designers have been working with the artists to make sure that we're able to really get the sound effects that they want within each little certain area. So we have an audio team that's been helping out tremendously, and then we've added on the voiceover stuff that we can talk about in the next zone. So that's the one you really want to know about.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of bad to leave you hanging right there, isn't it?
No, keep. We can go back to that. Keep showing what you were showing, Josh.
Yeah, so if we cruise over here, we can kind of see this big Shishar statue. And I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but this area, this kind of plaza area with the pool and the statue, hosts one of the coolest moments in the mission for this zone. anyone that's kind of watching that has played it will know exactly what I'm talking about. But there's some really cool stuff. And actually, behind the statue, you can see the tower up there.
Yes.
And that's where I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Vidra?
I think
Vidra?
I think we've come to a consensus that there's really no appropriate way to pronounce half these names because even the people that created them probably don't remember what it was supposed to be originally.
That is very true. All right. That makes me feel a little better.
I think the consensus was with the historians here that it's named Visidra.
All right. So Visidra, that's kind of his tower where he's up there. He's collected one of the fear crystals, and he's kind of working his magic up there, kind of doing experiments, trying to figure out how to tap into its power. And he's just kind of isolated himself in that tower. And the mission actually involves storming the tower. So you can't actually get up there in the base zone, but in the mission you kind of lead a charge across the zone, kind of conquer everything, and then charge up the tower to kind of face him. And then, let's see, last thing in this zone, we'll cruise over here. This is where the arena is. This is one of my favorite parts. Just visually, it's so cool with all these pillars. And this actually has audio cue you should hear as well. You should be able to, once you get closer, you can hear the crowd start chanting and the sounds of fighting going on.
Oh, yes, I can hear it.
Yeah, oh,
They're also
and
attacking.
speaking of fighting, here we go.
Like naked bad dog.
No, I know. Naked Ixar. Well, Ixar are the arch nemesis of the Shishar, so it's no surprise that they don't like me. So this is actually the site of the raid as well. It's going to be you go into the arena and kind of battle through a series of champions and then the ultimate bad guy. But also in the base zone, it has kind of a special gladiator event that you can participate in and kind of take down different gladiators and try and get, the best loot.
Well, Josh, are we able to kick off the mission?
The gladiator mission?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look up what the command for that is because I don't remember.
It's W-dump launch DZ.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the DZ number is. I can look it up real fast.
You do that and I'll kill this bloodthirsty tiger.
That's a deal. It is bloodthirsty. It deserved it.
Oh, yeah, you probably want to do tells on those commands there, Jonathan.
Oh, it shouldn't be too much of a secret. Nobody can run the commands unless you're on the dark one.
Well, who likes to tempt people? You know how it is. It's like going to the seedy part of the zone. Temptation.
Okay, here we go. Alright.
So you got, oops.
Yeah, actually, let me just assign the task to us. Maybe that'll be enough.
Yeah, I think we want to be down here in the bottom, right?
It'll actually teleport us in.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, well, because I'm down here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tiger. Let's try to kick him.
Alright, so...
Pre-reward.
Whoops. Get safe points. Am I a GM? Yeah. Are all of you guys flagged as GMs?
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
I'll make sure. Yes, I was.
I was not.
Okay.
So I think something that the players are going to really like with this, Rob, is there's some kind of well-known or beloved enemies from the past, the Shisar, things that were kind of brought into the game with the Shadows of Lekland, and coincidentally, we have this nice story to tell with characters tied to Vexal, the Akivans, and then we bring on. Oh, I'm getting attacked pretty good right now. we're bringing in the next zone that you've kind of touched on with the the plane of shadow, and that's when we're going to have that little reveal of Lucklin herself.
Awesome.
So it looks like I'm actually having trouble zoning into the DC right now.
All right, well, we can skip it.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all right. No
Just
spoilers.
disappointed. That's all.
Hey, if you can figure it out, Tom, we can definitely go in. I'm getting I'm getting the couldn't get safe chords thing, which usually means it's having trouble launching. Yeah, so if we can't get into the mission, that's about it for Chelsith Reborn. We can head on over to Plane of Shadow if you want to check that place out, or if there's anything else kind of you had questions about the zone.
Just give you a little chance to toot your horn, but I kind of heard that you might have played a big part in this zone.
Yeah, this was me along with Ellie, one of the other designers here. We kind of co-designed the zone, where she was training me on how to do it, and so she kind of we worked together on the whole thing, which was really cool, and I got to build a lot of the quests, which was really fun. Getting to kind of write the story and kind of what will happen there. Yeah, it was really fun. It was a really exciting kind of adventure getting to do that for my first time, and learning how to bass pop and learning how to bass pop poorly, and then having people tell me, "Oh my God, this is horrible, fix it," and then showing me how to fix it. I learned a lot.
Learning experience, yeah.
How many quests do you put into a zone of this size?
So progression quests, we usually do about between like 3 or 4, and those are the quests you have to complete to, unlock the mission and then unlock the raid in here. And then there's a handful of other kind of just one-off quests that are kind of built in the zone as well. And then kill quests? How many kill quests do you think, Jonathan? Like 8 or 9?
There should be at least 6 per zone.
So we should see those in like the Slayer achievement, maybe?
Yeah, and actually I can take you to one of the quest guys real fast if you want to check them out. Let's see, go to actually. Wrong way. Don't mind me. I'm going to summon you guys in just a moment. Alright. So this guy right here, Jensen the Mad, this was actually made by one of our apprentice designers. And he's basically a mad scientist that's trying to experiment with the green mist. And green mist is kind of what wiped out the Shishar in the first place. So it's not everyone appreciates him trying to wield that power. So he's kind of been kicked out, and so he has you kind of help him reanimate the green mist into like a warrior that can fight for him. But then, of course, something goes horribly wrong, and you have to try and contain it and contain the disaster from overrunning the city.
The gorillas in the mist.
Yes.
A gorilla with the mist.
Gotta love the puns.
Awesome.
Less gorillas.
Kill Shishar defenders to get their hearts. So he is, in fact, having you kill his fellow Shishar?
Yep. He is a mad scientist, after all. He will do anything.
Alright, sorry guy. Go blame him. Just do what I'm told.
Aw, and they're so sad. Their little hissing noises as they die always makes me feel like regret slightly that I killed them. Like, aw.
I blame the apprentice quest designer.
He made me do it. Alright, so you guys want to head on over to Plane of Shadow?
Sure.
I would love to.
Alright, I'll head there and teleport you guys. I love hearing that crowd chanting every now and then in the background. It's just so good.
So
Makes
Tom,
me want to go
how
find
are
him.
you a translucent flying frog?
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You were a translucent flying frog there for a moment.
I kissed an ugly girl.
Yeah.
And turned me back to a frog.
Did you like it?
You know what? You know what they say. Once you've kissed one girl, you want to kiss all of them. Yeah, it was good.
I don't even know what to say to that.
just smile and chuckle. And
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, ignore me. That's fine. It is review period this time of the year.
That's
so.
true, yeah. Alright, so
All
Plane
right.
of Shadow. This is Luclin's plane. So this is a plane of power, essentially. Luclin is the goddess of shadow. Jonathan, do you kind of want to give a rundown of kind of what her deal is?
Sure. So there were fear shards that were falling during the Reign of Fear era, and those dropped down into a lot of different places in Norath, including the plains. So Luclin, recognizing that this shard of fear was powerful and wanting to keep it away from those who would do harm, took it and hid it away. And there's other things going on in the zone where there's smaller fragments of fear shards spread around, and the inhabitants of the Plane of Shadow were working to collect those and hide them away. But of course, the temptation to use these things is too much for some of the inhabitants, so they end up injecting the fear shards into their bodies and becoming corrupted, yet more powerful because of it.
Yeah, so this right here, this is one of my favorite shots as you kind of walk in here. And the cool thing about Plane of Shadow, the thing I love the art did and the designer kind of designed for it was, so it's a balance between light and darkness. And you'll notice wherever there's light, like everything is pristine, the architecture is great and clean and white, but in the shadow everything starts decaying. So there's weeds sprouting out, the wall is kind of falling apart, there's flies buzzing around.
That's very nice attention to detail. Thanks for pointing that out. I'm sure some people would have noticed, and some people probably would have gone right by them.
Yeah, it's definitely something like you kind of start to notice over time, because at first you're just like, okay, it's kind of decrepit, but some of the parts are nice. But then, like, once you start piecing it together, like, oh, now I get it. And this is actually Luclin's like second in command, essentially. But Luclin has kind of barricaded herself back in her throne room and kind of abandoned her followers. And so Atenhara is like trying to figure out what's going on and kind of recruits you to kind of help clean up the fear shards and try and, you know, kind of find Luclin and figure out why she's kind of drawn herself back a little bit. So we can actually, let's go ahead actually over to, I don't know what the actual name for this room is, but I call it the Moon Room.
Oh yeah, I think it is the Moon Room.
So this is so obviously Luclin is also kind of the goddess of the moon. Luclin is the name of the moon in it's not in Norath, but around Norath. So you can kind of see the different phases of the moon going around on the wall up top.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Let's see who we got here. All right, yeah. So this is another kind of follower of Luclin that's trying to help you out. It's a mercenary actually that you hire. Or Atenhara is hired to help kind of get to the bottom of this and kind of fight back all the corrupted Akivan.
I like their shields, and their maces. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
those were created specifically for this. There's a whole set of these that have kind of that glowing, floating, moving texture.
Are there items that appear similar to this that the players can acquire?
Yeah. There's a whole set that players can get: a dagger, a two-handed mace, a shield. Everything's attainable by players.
Yeah, actually, these are the exact weapons, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
There you go.
All right.
So go ahead and kill one, Rob, and take their weapon.
Oh. For sure.
Oh, well, it looks like I have to kill all of them now, so I don't know how that's going to last.
Yeah, not very happy. Good thing you guys are GMs.
Remove his JT buff. Watch him die.
Dying's not the problem. We could stay here all night just me trying to kill them. They're at 97%, 96%, so they're going about 1% every 15 to 20 seconds. Yeah. We'll be here a while.
Alright, let me, I'll pull you guys over to the next area, if you're ready.
We are ready.
Fire away.
You're being summoned. So this is kind of an outdoor kind of cavern area where there's a bunch of islands kind of connected by these bridges. And this is kind of where you see a lot of the remnants. So you see a storm of light and darkness. The plane of shadow actually used to be two separate planes, the plane of light and the plane of darkness, and they were constantly at war and fighting. And after kind of just endless eons of like death and torment on both sides, just constantly fighting. They realized that they had to come to some sort of truce if they ever wanted to be anything more than just constant war. So then the Plane of Shadow was formed, but there's still kind of remnants and kind of lost souls fighting the battle still throughout the zone.
Yeah, I feel like the quest lines did a really good job of telling that story. So the quest designers went out of their way to make sure that the origins of the zone were explained.
Yeah, it was kind of a big part of the zone, and some of the quests are really cool where you have to like capture different elements of the light and dark and kind of use magic to kind of bring them together. It's really cool.
Okay. Who are these NPCs we got up here in the tent village?
Yeah, so these are the corrupted Akivan. So these are the followers of Luckton that have kind of fallen apart, and if you get kind of up to them, oh no, these aren't the corrupted Akivan. I totally lied to you.
These are the nice Akivan.
Yeah, so these are basically just lost Akivan. Like, when Luckland kind of disappeared and took the crystal into her chamber, like 3 things happened. Some of her followers, you know, stayed true and are trying to figure out what's going on and are trying to continue her work. Some of them just completely abandoned her, and that's what these ones are. They're just kind of like they're purposeless now. They don't know what to do, so they're just kind of out here. And then some of them are now actively opposing her, trying to like take her spot as the head of the plane.
Okay.
And so those are the corrupted Akivan. Let's go ahead to the next area. Oh, what? Tom, you beat me here. I'm impressed.
Ah, you're welcome.
Hey!
So this is...
Those are the things that were attacking my city a couple weeks ago.
Oh. Now's your chance for payback.
Yeah, they were. So this is called the Falls?
The Falls of Light and Darkness.
There you go.
So we can kind of climb up these stairways as we talk to, so you can kind of get different looks at it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the lore for this room. I think it's more just kind of an offshoot of the different powers of light and darkness trying to merge together. Kind of these dervishes, some of them have become sentient, and some haven't. I believe these ones have not yet. But you actually get a quest from like the lonely sentient dervish to try and make more sentient, so he can have like, you know, brothers and sisters and not be alone in the world.
Yeah, I believe when the planes of light and shadow joined, like a lot of the creatures lost their sentience and became mindless. And with the corruption of the fear shard and the changes to the zone, that's allowed some of them to become sentient again, which is sort of an aberration to what they are now.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of the size of this zone. I mean, I've gone through it a couple times, and we've had a couple other tours, and haven't been able to fight through it yet personally on my own character. But the sheer size of this zone is amazing, and the detail is pretty awesome.
That's pretty vertical.
Yeah, just this one area, you bet. Well, I mean, the entire zone, there's caverns that go up and down. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy the first time I looked at the map because there's like 20 things stacked on top of each other.
How am I going to populate that?
Yeah.
There's these guys we're looking at right now are the ones that have the fear shards stabbed into them, so you can see those little purple pokey things protruding from their arms and legs.
Definitely see
it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so they're trying to absorb the power of the fear shard by just stabbing them into their body, which seems like a terrible idea if you ask me. Oh yeah, you can actually see this one's actually turned part of the fear shard into a weapon, so she has that fear shard dagger right there.
I think you could grind it up and make it into a soup or something.
Yeah, exactly. Tasty concoction.
Cook with it. No.
Take them down.
Some salt.
Alright, and then so we'll jump over to the Hall of Records, and then we'll go up to the big chamber. And
is that where the DJs are at?
Yeah. So this is the Hall of Records, which I really like. It also does a pretty good job of showing off the light and darkness kind of elements of where it corrupts in the darkness. This is where basically all the records of the Plane of Shadow have been kept, and there's wandering souls, ghosts roaming around. I'm actually really curious if the walls actually say anything in a language. Do you recognize it, Jonathan?
I think they repeat, so you can definitely see it's got the same text cycling on each wall. It probably doesn't say anything, but we'll have to like poke the artists to find out.
Yeah. I want there to be like a secret code or something. It's gotta be.
Which is like, artists are awesome.
Yes. Man. It's just a wandering soul and you gotta kill it. It's just out for a stroll.
And his mournful spectator corpse died as well. Or specter.
Casualty.
Yeah.
An innocent bystander.
Nothing to do with. So, alright, what's the next room on tap after this one?
Alright, the next one is the big chamber. So this is Luckland's, it's called the antechamber. So I'll let you go ahead, you can go up and open the door. It's not a good sign when you see a bunch of dead bodies outside.
Go ahead and get the volume up here. Oh, there's a little chest there.
Oh yes.
Oh, nice, they fixed those. Those things were floating off the ground shortly before launch.
Good job, Josh.
Well, that one wasn't me, but I'll take credit for it. Floating chests, can't do that every day.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the large room where basically the corrupted Akivan are fighting the defenders of Luckland. This is also the room where the raid does take place.
Okay. See, that guy's got some issues. Not only does he have little crystals, he has big crystals. That one's probably where his heart should be. Don't really know how he'd be alive anymore at this point.
Doesn't need a heart anymore. He lives on fear. Oh yeah, his leg looks pretty messed up too. You can see it on this side. His robe is all torn up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He no longer has a calf.
Poor guy.
Doesn't seem to slow him down.
No.
Oh man.
Like an whole room. Let's get them all.
Use that invulnerability buff while you got it.
No. Now he needs like a lava damage reflection buff. Just stay here, walk away, come back like 20 minutes later, they're out.
So Tom, I don't know how much we want to say about kind of what happens in the raid or mission.
Well, you know what? We're already live, so we shouldn't have an issue at all telling Rob and all of our listeners right now, what's going to happen here. But let me do something. We touched on Luckland. We did a lot of different things with Luckland for the very first time with EverQuest. First of all, this is the first time that we revealed Luckland inside the game. And you mentioned that we did a lot of voiceover work. And we did, and actually, let me see if I can go ahead and give you a little sample of it while you're getting beat on by everybody in the zone. So hold on one second.
Don't worry, Rob. I'll save you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
With my unarmed punches with no armor.
I was thinking slash kill.
Oh, you probably can. Yeah, GMs can. And actually, I'll just go ahead and use the spell and. Let's just nuke him down.
There we go. Critical blast for 2 million. Oh, I'm sorry, 28,500,000.
No big deal. Just a Nixar doing his thing.
Now imagine if it had gear.
Yeah.
Overpowered.
GMs are definitely overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rob, see if something plays in your ear there.
And you adventurers, you stumble into my presence, led as though blindfolded to gallows built by your own hands. I see within you. Some bear light, others carry darkness.
That's a confirmation of yes.
But together your shadow walks a fated path. Will you climb the scaffolding and stand beside your dark executioner? Will you lay your necks within the noose that tightens around Norath? Know that I will not allow what you seek. The final piece of Khazak Thul rests in my shade for eternity. If you continue your journey, to you I grant reprieve from the gallows through death.
Awesome. Reprieve from the gallows of death. So apparently she decided to pull a Megatron and shove a big giant purple crystal into her back.
So that's just one sampling. You know, when you're going to have encounter Luckland, we really wanted to go all out. Have the VO. We've got rigging on the actual character itself done in such a way that we've never touched it ever, before. It actually turns out to be multiple versions of Luckland and shadowy versions of Luckland that actually you're going to encounter while you're in the raid mission. So this is pretty unique, Rob. So I'm just kind of hoping that Josh, I don't think we can start the mission, correct?
I can try this one actually and see if I can get it going. Let me see.
Yeah, let's see if we can give something else to Rob.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see her.
It's been a long time.
Alright, let's see.
That defender's back there, just fighting air. She's always at her post.
Always prepared. Yeah, and actually, one of the doors here is guarded by like 10 or 15 of them, and that's actually where Luckland's throne room is, and they're making sure that no one gets through that door.
So what is this this central pillar that we're standing on right here? Or platform, rather.
So this is like it's kind of the center of, this is like kind of could be considered like her royal court, essentially. So this is where kind of all the other people are. Her throne room is actually fairly small. But if we can get to the mission, you'll see what Luckland uses it for.
Hey Rob, do you happen to know how far this storyline goes? We're doing Reign of Fear, and this is the Shadow of Fear. But do you know how long this storyline has been going?
This is the third expansion that the storyline has been going on. It started with the House of Thule.
You rock, sir. Good job.
I do pay attention when we have these conversations from time to time. And I've actually been brushing up on my EQ lore lately. I'm not a master by any stretch of the imagination, but I have learned about how, the initial lore behind how the world became populated, and the first dragon that made its appearance on Norath and decided to slumber under the earth and have a little ice plane, and names escaping me at the moment, but I'm learning. I've been studying.
Wow. Like I said, a writer can become a good designer.
Could someone try? True. Okay, yeah. So it looks like we're getting the same. Couldn't get safe coordinates for this.
Oh, cries.
Fathom literally cries over you. His tears are falling on you.
And I've been poking around on your guys' official wikia that you guys have now as well, that I think you just announced within the last month, or the community team did.
Yep, and it's been, I think, talking with our community team, since it's launched, I believe the articles have, I think they've gone, I want to say like over 4,000 new articles in a week. It just keeps climbing and climbing. So I hope that will be something that players will jump to first here in the near future.
And you can always tell when they're official and sponsored by the company because they'll have that gold Wikia emblem on them, and it's everquest.wikia.com.
All right.
So what do you think there, Josh? You think we're going to be missing out on this one?
I think so. Yeah, it looks like we're just having a problem launching DZs currently on the server. Unfortunately.
I appreciate
Rob,
the attempt, nonetheless.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, the other thing that we haven't touched base on with the Shadow of Fear is that we kind of structured our spells and AAs where all players and classes were getting new AAs and spells with this game update. So everything's tied to the Reign of Fear. So if you purchase the Reign of Fear, you're going to get all this content for free. You're going to get all the new spells and AAs for free. and we actually have some more story to tell in the near future.
That was going to be my next question. Will we actually see another content update before we see an expansion, which I guess I would expect sometime in the last quarter of this year?
If I was shaking the magic 8-ball, I would say it's decidedly so. But you know, unless we get a crazy tornado, bad weather like you did last time we spoke, we are planning to do something like that.
Now, something I've kind of noticed, and you talked about this last time, but you didn't. You guys weren't ready to announce it yet. But I'm looking at my character, and I noticed that I've looked at his armor, and I've seen that he definitely has Heroes Forge modified armor on, and it looks like it's slender. Did you guys actually go back and redo the graphics for the armor?
We are in progress on that right now. I've actually released a few screenshots out over the last couple weeks. And the armor that you're wearing right now is actually the original Heroes Forge armor. Before we've touched it to reduce the size to make the better fit, and we took some liberties on changing some of the color mats and the variations. So they're going to look a little bit different. We think they look just amazingly better than they have. Jonathan, I think you've kind of been the new leader on the team. I mean, what's your response on how it's looking?
Yeah, the new stuff looks great. It's amazing how tightly fit it is on the character, and you really get a better sort of svelte, I guess, is the best word for that.
I actually think this
chainmail
looks pretty good on the human.
Yeah, we've noticed, surprisingly enough, there are people who like the old look because they're fond of the way the breastplate looks, or the way the legs look. But I think overall the new stuff is going to be quite an improvement.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is kind of once you see the new look, and you kind of like, oh, you get it, because like it looks. Some of the sets do look pretty good now, but once you see like how good it can look, like you don't want to go back. You want the new stuff once you see it. At least that's how it was for me.
Yeah,
well,
you're not
anxiously await it then, because like I said, I looked at this one, and I remember previously having a guy, and it was kind of bulky, but this looked a lot more, like you said, svelte.
Yeah, who picked that character for you? Somebody here at SOE?
I think so.
Yeah, we probably aimed it that way, but yeah, deep into the process, we we got better. I mean, there's some things that we couldn't do, with our engine, and the further we got into it, we're actually able to improve upon the sets that we did later, by using, some better templates, something that one of our artists, Alan Bond, who's done a great job with this, he was able to improve the system of creating all the sets, months into the process. So the later sets that were released or that we worked on looked even better than the first sets, as far as the fittings, and then he's taken it a step beyond that by actually improving them for our next release. So we're not promising a timeline, but they should be ready to go probably end of May, early June. So that's not written in ink, but we've talked about coming soon, and that's probably the closest we can nail down right now.
Sounds great. All right, anything else, or any last thing you'd like to show the audience?
Let's see. Did we put in some new dance animations?
We turned
dance party?
Tom back into a frog again.
That's always entertaining.
Let me go kiss another girl. No, I don't think I have a lot to add, Rob. This is something that we're pretty excited about to do. I think some people are screwing with me now. Oh, thanks. And this is something that we're pretty excited about. We're changing the way that we release content. We're giving players more content to play through on a more consistent basis. So we're really excited about that, and I think it's the right thing to do, so we don't have a kind of a lull. If you go through the content, and we have those completists that run through things very, very fast, and I think they probably gives them a feeling of, okay, what's next? So we're giving them the what next very quickly. So this has been something that you're going to see here in the next couple months with more game update. And Jonathan and Josh, I appreciate you guys being here. Want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to add anything you like to.
Yeah, I think it's great how the different departments have been able to work closely to do things. We've got audio and design, for instance, being able to work on the VO stuff and putting a fully voiced over character in the game for the first time. And there's been a lot of examples of that where we've had multiple departments coordinating closely to do stuff that we would be unable to do if we were separated. And I think it's great that we've been able to accomplish stuff so quickly. No red tape.
Yeah, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yay.
Hey, how about you, Rob? What are you most interested in, or what would you like to see us do for the future?
Well, I would have to speculate that you're probably going to come full circle with Khazak-Thul, and that not just going to have Luceland run around with a giant purple shard stuck in her back. I think that.
She doesn't actually. For the record, she doesn't actually have a shard in her back. She has
chest?
one. No, it's not like in her body. She just possesses it. She stole it.
I thought I saw a video where she had taken the crystal as well and put it and stuck it in her to try just for safekeeping, not to corrupt herself like these people had done, but just to hold on to it.
I think that was Diablo 2. But
So, but all right. Well, I apologize. I was mistaken, but I think that that's probably going to come back around. We're going to see that. We can't have our evil god be dead for all the Ixar. As far as where to take it after that, we've got 15 years worth of story to draw from. And I know it's only been live for 14, but obviously there's a couple years of development before that.
Yep.
So it's at 15. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I was actually doing some Q&A with our PR team, and the question came about, like, how did the EverQuest name, originate? And when EverQuest was being developed, I guess it was called an online RPG for a few weeks. That was like the working title, an online RPG. And as it was picking up pace, and they're realizing that we really had something here, I think it was John Smedley said, "All right, guys, you got to come up with a name." So to the developers back then, Steve Clover and Brad McQuaid used to carpool. Yeah, Brad McQuaid is back. It's pretty awesome. We got Brad back, I think, for the last couple months now. So we threw him into the fire. He's one of our front game designers now. And so they would carpool, think about it, brainstorm over the night, and Steve just came back with just EverQuest, with a kind of a tie of this should be a game that you are always going to quest. The game story should never end. So that's always that nice little remark. Have you guys ever thought about taking the game and turning it off or anything of that nature? And the question is always never.
You've concurrently run with a sequel for the last 9 years. I think you're going to be okay at this point, even with a third MMO in the franchise within the next year or two. So, especially having an increased content release schedule, even if it's more frequent, smaller updates as opposed to just one large update a year, you're going to keep people coming back into the game that much more frequently as opposed to a huge surge 1 quarter out of the year. Now you'll have surges all throughout the year.
Yeah, and then you mix an anniversary of the 15th year coming up next year. We're going to have some cool stuff to reveal.
Yeah, I think it's hard to beat the sheer amount of content that EverQuest has got. You made a good point. There's 14 years of zones and quests and raids and and content to experience, and a new game can't really like compete with that. So EverQuest is going to always have that as an asset for it.
Something that's really kind of pulled me back into it the last month or so, and it may sound kind of weird, but it's actually having to read the quest text, find the keyword in the text, type it to get the response from the NPC to carry on the dialogue. And it's not just click, 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 where am I going on the map, run there, and then kill it. I mean, granted, you can do the NPC finder and get your breadcrumb trail if you want to go from point A to point B, but you still have to navigate through the quest, and you're going to have more of a general idea of what you're doing. And I wouldn't say that people just aren't interested in the games, but people just, out of habit, I think in newer MMOs, will just click as fast as they can through quest text and just not be interested in it and go about their business. And this kind of gets you to slow down and do that and get more into the story and why you're going to kill these crocodiles to get these skins for the skinner, and what these skeletons, why are there ogre skeletons running around in my farm? Oh, because that used to be a dead ogre burial ground. And so
yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about the game too, is because I'm kind of like a closet role player, where like I like to role play, but like I don't like try and do it all the time. But I love it because when they give you the keywords, like I can think of, okay, how would my Ixar respond to this guy's question, rather than just, you know, click next, click next, click next. Like I actually have to form a sentence. I like that.
And it really helps the new. I shouldn't say new, but it's not part of the original release, but the tutorial zone that you guys have now. The only thing that I would have added in there is to tell players that you can destroy no-drop items.
Oh.
I cannot tell you how long it took me to figure out how to delete, by clicking on it and clicking destroy a no-drop item. My whole inventory was just like full of no-drop items. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Went to my bank and filled my bank with no-drop items.
yeah, a lot of other games let you drop it on the world, and it says, do you want to destroy this? And you can say yes. But
well, you've got some that you can, but the quest ones, and I completed a quest twice, because one time it didn't pick up in my hero's journey, and I think I said it right that time.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way to go.
So I got a reward item from that, from a quest that I was doing. Well, it didn't pick it up, so I had to do it again, and I got the reward again, but the reward was a unique reward. So I couldn't figure out how to destroy. There's a deer head running around. I got the reward for a second time, and I couldn't drop the first one out of my inventory. So every time I would level up, that quest reward would pop up, and I couldn't destroy it. And every time I would log out and log back in, that would pop up, and it was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to deal with this for 100 levels. What is going to go on? So.
Not a bad idea, yeah. How to delete items. That's probably good to add to the tutorial.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's probably not there already. I just did it and didn't see that, so.
And I just figured out today that you guys have Facebook and Twitter built into your API. I knew it was there in EverQuest 2, but I did not know that it was there in the original EverQuest.
Yeah, I think we put that in December. And, God, let's see. Trying to think. Was it December? It might have been sooner than that. And I think once it launched, one of the first things I did was make sure I was dressed up in my Heroes Forge armor and take a few shots and send them out to Facebook. It was pretty cool.
And there was
Kazakhdul's back.
Oh, there he is.
how'd you get turned into crystals and blew up?
Aw, poor guy.
And there was one other thing, but it's escaping me right now, so.
Well, feel free to send them on over, shoot an email, Twitter it out, we'll pick it up.
Yeah, send a tweet from inside the game and let us know.
Exactly. It had something to do with that. But, oh well, for next time. So, anyways, I appreciate all you gentlemen coming and spending some quality time with us this evening, showing us the new content for the Shadow of Fear update, for the Reign of Fear expansion. You guys are going to be at SOE Live, I assume, coming up in August?
Yep, definitely.
For everybody out there that's not sure, that's the old, what was it called, the Fanfare? SOE Fanfare?
Yeah.
Yep. Used to be Fanfare. Now it's SOE Live. Trying to make sure that it's a huge SOE event, not necessarily an EverQuest or EverQuest 2 event.
But I do think it's going to be an EverQuest news-dominated year this year, as far as the franchise is concerned.
It'll be good for EQ, but I think PlanetSide 2 will have some presence as well as some of our other games.
So, all right, and that's August 1st through 4th, and it's at Planet Hollywood this year. So, it's not at Bally's. Have fun with that.
Yep, nothing but good. Planet Hollywood.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We appreciate it, and have a great night.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.